Hey everyone, today is part 2 of my fragrance empties for the year of 2020. In part 1, I showed you a few of these guys that I have finished off this year. And at the end of the year, I do like to film a bit of a throwback, what I've finished in terms of fragrances, my very final opinions and thoughts about them. And I would suggest that you start from part 1. This is part 2. We're not really going in any particular order, except for I'm picking off the top of the box of the empties, which means that these are the most recent empties. And the first one that we're going to talk about is this guy, Clinique Aromatics in White. This is a very interesting pick. It is a 2014 release, and it matches with the Aromatics in Black, which I still have and I'm using very actively. And I would say this is a very unique combination for the current market because it is in fact not something you can find very frequently. If you love Tom Ford's White Patchouli, you may want to check this one out. It's not that they're the same or super similar, but they really reference the same feeling. They reference the same, they access the same sensation and the same impression. So Aromatics in White is really interesting for that. I found White Patchouli unwearable for me, and I find Aromatics in White rather wearable. So if you think White Patchouli is for you, but it's a little aggressive, Aromatics in White might be something that you would want to check out. Now, for me, it's an amber-based scent. The base is that gathers all the rest of it together is definitely amber. And the body of the scent is basically composed of equal parts labdanum and patchouli. So the patchouli here is a little aggressive, not the kind I like, but in this combination and backed by some, quite a laid-back, relaxed little rose that is not super prominent and spiced with a little bit of pepper. This patchouli is nice. I struggle with patchouli. If you know my channel, you know that that's the truth. Isn't that the truth? I really have a hard time wearing very clinical piercing patchouli like the Tom Ford White Patchouli here. That patchouli is in here, but it is something that is supported and surrounded and rounded off with other notes so well that it's not a deterrent for me in terms of wear. There is a richness to it. It's not a particularly floral scent, really. It does not create that impression, but it is rather pretty. It's rather pretty, it's powerful, it's day powerful. So if you're a lover of the powerful patchouli without it being on a gourmand, sweet base, Clinique Aromatics in White might be something you'd like to check out. This gorgeousness is absolutely fabulous. This is Womanity by Mugler, and it's a very wet, fresh, cold beach breeze kind of aroma. Here we're talking about some green woods that are slightly off to the side, and this slightly salty, wet sensation of a very cold, frigid beach, and you're on it in your parka, and the sensation is if the world is erased from existence and it's just you and the sea in front of you, and it's definitely more ravenous than you are. That is the type of sensation Womanity gives me. The packaging is completely out of this world. I love the packaging. It's very Cirque du Soleil. If you want to take a look at it a little bit up close, it's very Cirque du Soleil. There's a face over there. And I do believe it's a refillable bottle. I do believe it's a refillable bottle, and I might venture to refill it in the future. Very beautiful. Here we're talking about very niche quality fragrance, which will suit very specific and particular taste. And probably will be misunderstood by other people because frigid saltiness on the fig base is not something that will appeal massively to everyone. However, if you do like original, unique, beautiful poetry in fragrance form, then Womanity is something that you may want to try. It is a feeling, it is a sensation, it's a transformative and transportive fragrance, really, for me. How interesting. We have Elizabeth and James Nirvana Black in the perfume oil formulation. And I do like it best in perfume oil, interestingly enough. I did finish a whole bottle of Elizabeth and James Nirvana Black previously. It was, I believe, a 50 ml bottle, and I did enjoy it quite a bit, but I did want to explore it in a creamier form. And I would say if you're a fan of a rounder, creamier impression in a fragrance, then the perfume oil might be a good answer to your prayers. The interesting thing about the relationship that I have with this perfume oil is that I created something very, very similar, very sandalwood vanilla based, when I went to create a scent specifically for myself, a custom scent. That was a bit over a year ago when I was in Salem, Massachusetts. So what the perfumer made for me, obviously we made for me together, is exceptionally similar in many ways to this Elizabeth James and James Nirvana Black, which I did not realize until maybe a couple of weeks ago. So fascinating little factoid. I do enjoy it, and I would actually recommend to try the perfume oil formulation. I think it's even nicer than the original, and I did enjoy using it quite a bit. I may repurchase it at some point in the future, and I would probably repurchase the perfume oil, but not right now. I'm a little bit over the scent right now because I now have this other perfume oil that was specifically made for me that has many similar angles as the Nirvana Black, and I fairly recently finished the actual full-size bottle of the perfume, so I'm gonna hold off, but this is not for sure. I might repurchase this in the future. Speaking of the devil, of course, this is the bottle. I dug it out from a little bit further down in the box of empties. This is the Nirvana Black, the Eau de Parfum. I have to say, the two of them are different, and are different enough for me to have a preference. I did like the Nirvana Black. I love the packaging of it. Let me show you how beautiful it is. It's very Art Deco, textured bottle with etching, as you can see. Very, very, very nice. Beautiful, beautiful presentation. I really enjoy when brands come up with a presentable perfume that is as beautiful inside as it is outside. And this one is very also ergonomical and easy to wear, despite the fact that it's a cool shape. So one of those things that I will probably be keeping around for reference in terms of packaging. But when it comes to the scent, I certainly will prefer the perfume oil. It's much more sandalwood based, and it also is much smoother. There is a creaminess to it that is lacking in the Eau de Parfum version. So out of the two, definitely the perfume oil is my preference. Lastly, I have a delightful fragrance that is completely affordable that I've been buying over and over again. This is definitely not my first bottle. This is Fancy Love by Jessica Simpson. Jessica Simpson lineup is fantastic in my opinion. I don't know who curated it for her because it's not all the same nose, but the curation is wonderful. So whoever on the business side was dealing with it, I think did a fantastic job. This is a great dupe, almost dupe, I would say, to Burberry Woman. Burberry Woman is a very, very classic, peachy, dusty, powdery scent. And that's exactly what this is as well. Very, very similar. I think after about 30 minutes, you would be very, very pressed to find the difference between the two if you were simultaneously wearing one on each wrist. So it is quite a close comparison. Fancy Love, I don't mind the bottle. From far away, it looks really pretty, I think. But from close by, I mean, it is a rather cheap rendition. However, I don't mind because the scent is lovely, um, and it is so gosh darn affordable. So if you're a fan of Dusty Peaches, I think you would absolutely love this one. It is feminine, it is pretty, it is soft, it does leave a pleasant powdery trail. It's wearing very nicely. I have one that is very similar but wears even better. And in general, I think wonderful pick. So if you're a fan of Burberry Woman, do this one. It's like a third of the price and it smells virtually, I wouldn't say indistinguishable, but exceptionally similar. I was very happy to have found it, and I used it at the time of my life when I could not afford a plethora of fragrances, and a variety was something I craved but really um, could not have. And I was very happy to find a fragrance for a very affordable price that was exceptional quality, and I do think that this is really great quality. Will I be repurchasing this in the future? Probably. Not right away. I'm not feeling the need to replace it immediately, but I will probably get it again. So this was the second part of my fragrance empties for this year. In 2020, I finished quite a few scents. And next is going to be part 3, which is going to be the final part, and you'll find out what other few scents I've completed this year. What did you finish this year? I'm really always curious to know, how many fragrances do you get through in a year? I probably get through about 10 to 15, somewhere around there, because I have an extensive perfume wardrobe and I continuously use them. So over several years, I basically turn over quite a few of them because I continuously use them. So that's it for today. Have a wonderful time. Good luck to you. I wish you good health, and take care of yourselves. Take care of your loved ones. Talk to you later.